Hi and welcome to day 6, learning to meditate. So let's just quickly recap on what we've done so far, because I feel it just helps to remind you of all the things we've learned so far. It will jog your memory, but also enable you to appreciate how far you've come and everything that you've learned so far. So obviously day 1 was the introduction. We looked at the structure of the course and we talked about energy. Day 2, it's all about developing awareness and identifying key emotions. Day 3, we looked at decluttering, didn't we, of different aspects and areas of our lives. Day 4, we talked about making those loving choices. Day 5, it was about setting your intent and using your intuition. We learned exactly what they were, how to develop them, all those sorts of things. And today we're looking at meditation. Okay, so let's get into day 6. Okay. So first of all, what we need to establish is what exactly is meditation. And that actual word means to be familiar with, make yourself familiar with. And for me, it's about connecting in and being familiar or making friends with your inner world, with your inner self. That's what it's about. That's what it enables you to do. Now, there are many, many different types of meditations. I'm not aware of every single one. I've certainly not tried every single one, but I can give you examples of the most common ones. So, I use a lot of visualization meditation where we construct an image in our minds and we may go somewhere as well. This kind of taps into guided meditation as well, where you're taken on a journey, but it also uses visualization so that you set the scene within the meditation. So these are 2 of my favorite types. I also practice frequency meditation with my clients. So they come to me, when they're in a meditative state, I run energy on them so that they feel better afterwards. They shift and change afterwards and feel better. What else have we got? We've got breathing meditation, which is what I believe the Buddhists tend to favor. They kind of, maybe not all of them, but I know they definitely use breath work where they focus on the breath and they just focus on that and nothing else. So again, we're working on creating that gap between the negative thoughts and feelings and your inner self, your true self, as I like to call it. What else have we got? We've also got mantra meditation where you chant, you repeat. We had our forgiveness mantra, so you repeat certain positive phrases, and it kind of creates a feeling within you and creates that gap again between the negative thoughts and feelings. So, but they are just some of the meditations that I've experienced in my life. The benefits of meditation are manifold. I mean, I could go on for a few hours about the benefits of meditation, but I'm just going to give you the main ones that I believe will, that will be the ones that you'd be interested in, and hopefully will be the ones that you start to see for yourself when you start to meditate regularly. So things like lowering anxiety, lowering stress, helping with sleeplessness, absolutely. If you do it just before you fall asleep, it's amazing the quality of sleep that you get. You'll start to kind of see a difference in the way that you approach your life. That's more generally. You'll flow through life with more ease and grace. Your relationships will improve because of this. I mean, there are so many benefits to it. So it's almost a tool that we just cannot we can't afford not to practice and use, really. Breaking the cycle of negativity. Now, this is something that I've been talking about all the way through so far, haven't I? That it's about breaking that cycle of those negative thoughts and the feelings that attach itself, and how that cycle, how that can feel so real for us, and we're in that, before we know it, in that downward spiral of negativity. Well, meditation is one of those tools that will help to break that cycle. You will absolutely see that when you start to do that every day, or hopefully you build your practice up to every day. So the next point is really important, because I see a lot of people that kind of get really gung-ho and start to meditate and then they just go off the boil with it. So I have a few really, really good tips to help you get into your practice. Now, if you've never ever meditated before, I'm not expecting you to go from nothing to everything and meditate for 2 hours every single day. I mean, personally, I know that I cannot be like that, or if I am, I just can't sustain it. So I started off very small. I started off with just a few minutes. And I did that. I started to build up gradually. So then I was doing it every day. And then those few minutes I've allowed to become longer and longer. Sometimes they're shorter depending on what's going on. But, I at least try to do sort of 5-10 minutes in the morning, and then in the evening I bung on something on YouTube and I listen to that, and then I often fall asleep to it. But that's generally my everyday, day-to-day habit. So if you kind of set the intent to start small, a few minutes, maybe every other day, building up to every day, or maybe once a week, building up to every other day, and then every day will be perfect. What you want to aim to be doing is doing it every day, at least once a day, because I can tell you now through experience that if you just do it once a month or just whenever you think about it, you're just not going to see the benefits. You might as well not bother. And I know it sounds a bit harsh, but that is the truth. That is the absolute truth that I've experienced for myself. Other things that I would suggest you do is you do it at the same time every day, so that it quickly becomes a habit. Choose the same location if you can, like in bed, last thing at night, first thing in the morning, or in the shower. I mean, it depends how you're meditating. We'll go through that in a moment. Or on your daily walk, and as I mentioned earlier, I walk almost every day, and I definitely listen to meditative kind of teachings, and or I just do my own thing, but this is because I've built it up over years. I kind of know what I'm doing now, and you can take those shortcuts and be more creative with it. But I think if you're just starting out, just start simple, start small. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure that you're not going to be disturbed for the duration of the meditation. You might like to create a little meditative space for yourself. That might help with the momentum and the habit forming. Whereas, you have like a little, I like to call mine my little sacred space. I have a few of them around the house. I have like crystals and candles on my bedside table. So that's one place that I meditate. I have my healing room. So I have tons of crystals there. I have candles that I light. I have incense, and it's my special place that is dedicated to my meditative practice. That might help to form the habit for you. So that there are some of my tips for you. Your meditative activities, before I go into them, you don't have to do, I don't believe, some people may disagree with me, but I don't believe that you have to do, a formal sitting down meditative practice in the lotus position or whatever. I feel it's very much up to you. I try and sit up because I feel I'm more receptive and I don't fall asleep, but often I'm just really tired, so I lie in bed and I'm warm and I'm comfortable and I just drift off into sleep, and that's fine because I know I'm still reaping the benefits. And that's when I listen to things. But you can absolutely do activities. There are heaps of activities out there that are meditative by nature. And you're probably already doing a heap of them already. Things like baking, or walking in nature, or gardening, or swimming, or jogging, or running, or colouring in, or doing jigsaws, or knitting, or... There are so many things. It's anything basically that just allows you to focus in the moment, so that you're not focusing on those negative thoughts and feelings. It's just breaking that cycle. Okay, so just, concentrate and focus and honour the things that you find you enjoy doing, that you are fully absorbed and focused in the moment. Colouring in particular is a brilliant one, and I know that it's very trendy at the moment to get all these mandala colouring in books, or mandalas, I'm not quite sure how to say it, but that's really meditative. It's really focusing, and if you've got kids, get them into doing that as well. Really, really good. Things as well like bird watching, just watching birds feed at a table, or you know, like a bird table, or watching raindrops on the window, or just anything like that. And you can, as I said, you can also get your kids into it. Just have those stilling moments during the day where you're just focusing on something that gives you pure pleasure. So some useful meditation resources that I can recommend. YouTube is an amazing resource. I love YouTube. When I was a teacher, I used to use YouTube all the time, but I now use it just to get inspirational teachings. You can find heaps and heaps of meditations on there, and just type in something in YouTube, like, you know, meditation for sleep, meditation for anxiety, all those sorts of things, and you can find loads of things. You've also got the Calm app and Headspace app. I've never used them personally, but I know people that have, and they're really enjoying them. And they often, you know, places like that often offer free trials, so you can try it and just see if it's for you. What I would say is that when you come across meditation, just make sure you enjoy listening to the voice. That's really important, because for me, a voice has a certain frequency. It resonates at a certain frequency or vibration or energy, call it what you will. If you don't enjoy listening to it, you're just not going to reap the benefits. And remember, the words have an energy that will or will not uplift you. So that's really important, that you feel comfortable with the voice. Okay, excuse me. So your task today is to decide when and where you are going to do your meditative practice. So remember, I talked about setting up a little corner, a meditative space or sacred space, call it what you will, and decide when is the best time for you to do that. And if it means that you have to go to bed slightly earlier, maybe not watch the extra episodes of Suits or whatever it is you're watching on telly, then do it, you know, because you're going to get so many benefits from it if you're doing it regularly. You know, first thing in the morning or last thing at night, just really, really good practice to get into. Set your intent. We've talked about intent, haven't we? You know, I am going to meditate every other day to start with, or whatever, for 5 minutes. Now, before you meditate, I'd suggest you just center yourself, just taking a couple of deep, long breaths in and out through the nose. And as I said before, listen to your meditation if possible once daily, and then work with the affirmation to help support you. Okay, so in this one, it's quite a short one really, but you're then going to have to go and do that daily practice now. But we've talked about what meditation is, some of the different types of meditations, the benefits, good tips on setting up a good kind of longer lasting practice. So all sorts of tips in order to be able to do that. And, you know, we've covered quite a few things, and also useful resources as well, like YouTube, Headspace, and the Calm app. Okay then, guys, I will see you in the next video.